Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters, and tonight I wanted to talk about plays. Why would I be talking about plays? Well, stop and think. If I am going to any kind of a play or even a skit or something, generally speaking, there will be some action going on in the background. Maybe children playing, maybe, people interacting. Maybe it's a restaurant scene and there's a waiter there and there are customers and there are people milling about. Meanwhile, the actual action, that is the main action, the main event, is taking place center stage. So I've got something in the background going on, and I've got something center stage that actually happens. Now, this is a perfect example of the difference between the preterite and the imperfect in Spanish. In Spanish, anything I put in the imperfect tense is setting the backdrop. It's saying this is what was going on in the past, but I'm not saying when it started, when it stopped, or even that it started or stopped, just that it was going on. However, my main events, the actions, are always going to be expressed in the preterite tense. So this really, rather than being an obstacle to trying to learn Spanish and use Spanish, if you think about it and you frame it right in your mind, it's actually a very useful tool because you can push things to the background by putting them in the imperfect tense, or you can bring them up center stage by putting them in the preterite tense. Now, anytime I'm talking about dates, times, the weather, anything that was going on, that is going to be in the imperfect tense. Well, what's that tell you? That tells you that if you've got a main event, you shouldn't put it in the imperfect tense. It needs to be in the preterite tense. Now, this particularly becomes apparent whenever I have a time frame attached to something. Because remember, with the imperfect tense, I'm not saying something started or stopped, just that it was going on, right? So if I say for a year or for a week or sometime, if I give any time frame reference at all, that needs to be in the preterite tense. One of the biggest mistakes I hear from people narrating in the past tense is putting too many things in the imperfect tense when they're supposed to be the main issue. Now, if I say something in the imperfect tense, and I don't give you anything in the preterite, you're always waiting for the next shoe to drop. What is it you're going to say actually happened? Because remember, preterite says something happened. Imperfect doesn't. It just says something was going on.